They're good men. When I distribute that kind, they need to be addressed. Excuse me, sir. Quiet, you brain. Wrong mental problem.
Welcome back. What is it? Welcome back to
Real Talk Men.
Real Talk Men.
Yeah.
Real Talk Men.
Yeah, Real Talk Men. Come on in.
Real Talk Men. Come on in.
Yeah.
You know, the men's lounge. We're in the studio.
That's right. You know.
So
it's time to talk about something that all of us go through that we mentioned in one of our last episodes. Relationships and relationship problems.
ooh, and breakups.
Yeah, breakups.
Breakups. You know,
divorce.
Divorce. You know,
Yeah.
I've had people ask, Frederick, would you get married again?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I've been married and divorced twice, and
Damn, you couldn't get it right, huh?
I couldn't get it right, man. I couldn't, and didn't get it right.
Twice.
No. But see, it's not about the marriage. I have a couple of things to say. Number one, it's not about the marriage. It's about being in the right relationships. You know, that's it. It's about being and having in the right relationships.
I can agree with that.
So it's not about marriage, because attracting is easy, moving in is easy, getting married is easy.
Yeah.
I just can't go through another divorce.
Yeah, you know, my barber said years ago, man, he said, you know, Chris, marriage is just one step closer to divorce. I'll never forget that.
That's barbershop talk.
That's barbershop
That's
talk.
barbershop talk.
Exactly. Barbershop talk at the Men's Lounge LA.
Right.
He said that marriage is just one step closer to divorce. Now, I'm not opposed to marriage. I was married for 13 years, man. You know,
I was married for 15 years.
Yeah. So I got to put that time in. And the current relationship I'm in, it's 16 years.
Yeah, man, 16 weeks.
A week.
A week is week.
Yeah, you know, it happens, man. You know, but as we say, and you mention all the time, that every relationship has an expiration date.
Every relationship has an expiration date.
Right, and it can be in for different reasons. It could be a breakup. It can be death, you know, and it can just be growing apart, you know, like the things that we go through as men, you know, and actually, I don't want to get into stats, but usually the woman is the first one to break off the relationship.
Well, the stats that you know we've been hearing is the wife files a divorce 69% of the time, all the divorces.
Yeah.
You know, it's the wife that initiates the divorce 69 and 71% of the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, but when they have a degree, it goes up to what?
90%.
90%.
And if it's a second marriage, it's about 75%.
That's still high numbers.
That's a high number. Now,
would you jump out of a plane knowing that your parachute wouldn't open?
No,
at 75%?
At 75% chance.
Or would you definitely jump out the plane knowing, hey, my parachute may not open at 90% of the time?
Right.
You know?
But let's be clear about this. We're not trying to bash women.
Or marriage.
We're simply following the stats. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And you can look those stats up.
Yeah, those are real.
Those are real.
You know, and either way it goes, man, they're scary too. You know, because you can be in love with someone, you want to spend the rest of your life with them. Circumstances change, you know. But from my understanding,
people change. We all change.
Yeah. You were looking at a video on relationships, or what was this video looking at? It looked like you took some notes on that. What was that you were looking at?
It was relationship breakups. Relationship breakups. And so, just to give an idea to the listening audience, we had a young man over here recently that we were counseling, and he's at the tail end of his relationship, and he really doesn't want to get out, but it's not working for him.
Right.
You know, and he's scared. Not that experience in the dating department, you know, and
he's considered a late bloomer.
Right.
When it comes to relationships.
But see, here's the beauty of being in the Men's Lounge LA. He was able to come over here to our studio and sit down and counsel with Coach Chris and myself, and excuse me, he started crying.
Yeah, he broke down.
He broke down and shedded a few tears. And the thing of it is that he felt comfortable enough to do that
Yeah.
in front of us.
Yeah, but see, the thing about that, though, is that he broke down and started crying from something he journaled. So journaling is good, like you do at times.
I journal
Yeah.
practically every day.
So, but he wrote these things because that was what's on his mind at the time.
Right.
And then as he started, reading it to us, it caught him. It caught him. And when it caught him to that point to where he just got emotional, and that's what we're talking about the Men's Lounge LA. This is a place to come where men to express themselves, and then you can let that out at that moment because you're in a safe place.
We're here for you.
This is a safe place.
We're here for you. It's a safe place. And when you get an opportunity, you men out there, build yourself a network. Get some numbers of some men that you can call and trust that you feel comfortable with. You can't share with everyone.
Right.
You'll know who you're able to share with, and certain amount of information, and who's supportive and who's not.
Yeah.
So you'll know, but you have to build yourself a support team, a support system.
Yeah.
And
That's true. But don't think you're isolated out there, man. We go through things and we go through it together. And then when you express that and you have that safe place to come to here, if anything, reach out to us at the Men's Lounge LA.
no
Info.
info
Yeah.
info at the men's lounge la.com.
Yeah.
Info at the men's lounge la.com. We'll put it
I
on.
was giving you my website by mistake.
Yeah, we'll put it on the screen.
Yeah.
And you can, and also here's an opportunity for you to meet us live every other month for men's group. Again, info at the men's lounge la.com. We're in Pasadena at my church. I'm not the pastor. I am the facilitator of the men's group there, and we talk about real stuff. We talk about real things.
Yeah, and I think our last one was that we talked about was the what do you call it? The
Self-care.
No, not self-care, but it was oh man, it escapes me.
It'll come to you, but
when it does, I'll bring it
when
back.
they had a health fair at the church, I gave a presentation on self-care and how many of you men are doing self-care. Do you know what self-care is? What does self-care look like to you?
Yeah.
You see, and one of the things you should consider putting at the top of your list is journaling, because successful people think on paper. And I've been journaling for years, and it helps to get that out of me. And during this season of relationship breakups, it's a tough deal. So if you're going through a breakup, I took down some notes I want to share with you men and you women too, because the door swings both ways, and we stimulate the women
At the same time.
at the same
I
time.
always
So
tip my hat to the women. But hold on. Introduce yourself. Just coming on right now. Most people don't even know who you are.
I'm Sir Frederick Douglass Southern, aka Sir Frederick, and
I'm Coach Chris.
I'm the host. He's my co-host. We co-host this thing. We're founders together.
Yeah.
So, one of the fallacies I don't agree with, one of the quotes I don't agree with is this one here. It says, and you've probably heard this: "Time heals all wounds." I don't agree with that.
That's what's been said. I've heard that a lot too.
Time to me, time does not heal all wounds, and that may work. That philosophy may work for some people, but for me, is what are you doing in the process, to facilitate this healing?
Well, that's where getting counseling comes from, or therapy, things of that sort.
Right.
Because people hold on to a lot of things in their lives, and then they transfer it not knowingly or knowingly into the next relationship.
So, time does not heal all wounds. What time does is bury it. That's what time does.
Yeah. There's a lot of things we suppress as people, period.
And we're carrying it with us.
Right. So that's why we built this platform for men who think that, hey, therapy is not for me. I don't go to therapy. I think it's a ripoff.
No.
I'm just in there talking.
I don't need nobody to talk to.
Yeah. So all those things that you're saying right there is, to me, is false.
Get some therapy, fellas.
Yeah, it's
fellas,
false.
get some therapy.
Yeah.
I've been through therapy twice.
I've been through therapy.
He's been
as well.
through therapy.
Yeah.
And it's like milk. It does the body good.
Yeah.
And you can release that to a whole total stranger. Whatever you say, it stays there in the office.
Right.
You don't have to rehash it or anything like that.
See, but the thing about it to me, man, is like a therapist, you got to have a vibe with them. The beauty of it that I got through is like they said, if you don't like this person, just let us know. We'll find someone else.
Right.
And I'm sure that's like that in most of these places.
That's what any professional said it.
Hey, I don't like this physician. I don't like this nurse.
Dentist, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to find someone. I don't want this car. This guy selling me this car. I want somebody else to sell the car.
You got to vibe with your professional.
Exactly. So when that happens, just move to the next person. And even if you want your own race, if you want, Asian, Hispanic, Black, if that's what you want to talk to, go for it. Try to reach out to that particular, thing that's going to make you feel comfortable enough talking to that person. You're going to male, female, do it. Just don't deny yourself on getting self-care by helping your mental state.
Right. Number 2 on the list is this. When you go through a breakup, I hear people say, man, as soon as you break up, man, just get right back on the horse. I don't recommend it. And I've heard women say the way to get over one man is to get up under another man.
Wow.
I've heard that.
Wow.
I've heard that. I don't recommend it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't recommend it.
That's crazy.
But I think that's one of the worst things you can do. Here's why. Number 2, don't start another relationship. The wounds. Let me turn this way. The wounds, the hurt, and pain you ended with that relationship, that's the foundation of your new relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All that hurt and pain that you ended with.
Yeah.
From that last relationship, you just gonna jump right back out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Anthony Hamilton had a song. I wish I could remember the title, but at this point it doesn't really matter. I just want to get to the guts of this. He's singing this whole song, and at the very end, he said, I can't give you, and this is not verbatim, but just to understand the whole thing, I'm not giving you all of me because I never got over her.
Right.
I'm not giving you all of me because I've never got over her.
And the door swings both ways.
You know,
the door swings both ways.
When I heard that at the very end, you know,
Right.
as the song is going out,
Right.
and I heard that, I was like, wow.
You know the great thing about songs.
What's that?
The great thing about songs that in the high times you're singing along. You're singing along with the songs, right?
Yeah.
But in the low times, you're listening to the lyrics.
That reminded me of Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor said, "When you know, a man don't become a man until he get his heart broke."
Oh man!
You know,
yeah.
he said you can be walking around. And he said even the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer make you go, her nose is red like Rudolph. So hey, it could be a Christmas song and it'll break your heart, you know. But then again, years ago, you guys were jingling together,
Right.
You know, so
Right.
yeah. Those are the things that you need to talk about to that therapist, to that confidant, to that person, that your mentor. You know, find that person you can talk to and say, hey, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, this killing me. I like hearing the song because it reminded me of my girl.
Right.
You know?
So
You know?
we're talking about breakups. We're talking about recovering
Yeah.
after a breakup.
Yeah.
It happens. It's going to happen to all of us. And just keep in mind, all relationships have an expiration date. You're not looking for that relationship to break up. You're not getting in with the notion or the idea for the breakup. You're getting in there, you know, to serve each other.
Yeah.
You know, in the relationship.
Yeah.
It happens.
And when it happens, it hurts. It's all part of the process. But as men, we hold things in, we suppress things, and when that happens, like I said before in the other end, it brings on health challenges.
It does.
You need
Okay.
to get past those health challenges. What else you got in there?
Number 3, no isolation.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, no isolation. Don't isolate yourself.
That's huge.
You know, some people get depressed some people get depressed when a breakup occurs. Now, two things I would recommend. Number one, depressed means deep rest.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you're feeling depressed, just get some deep rest. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, after you've gotten your rest,
Yeah.
go to the mall,
Yeah.
walk around,
Yeah.
people watch.
Yeah.
You know,
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
you talking about your brother Billy. No, I mean people watch. Think about it. If you're depressed and dealing with anxiety, that's because your thoughts are focused on that. You can only focus on
Right.
one thought at a time.
Right.
So when you get out and you see some different aesthetics, you see some different scenery,
Right.
you people watch.
Yeah.
You're thinking about them. You know, are they a likely couple? How'd they get together? And this and that. You see the ice cream place, and your mind is going there, and it's off away from what you just experienced. So don't isolate yourself. I think, matter of fact, that's one of the best and worst ways that suicide sets in.
Yeah, because
When
you're all
isolate.
in your head.
You're all in
know?
your head.
And that goes back to what we're saying again. You got to talk about this stuff. But, for me, man, it's like, when you have hobbies and things like that, things
Right.
that you really enjoy doing, if you like shooting pool, if you like playing games, if you like fishing, I love to fish, since I have my background, I've gone deep sea fishing for quite some time now, having an outlet.
Right.
No matter what it is, but you mentioned in the mall, some people don't want to go to the mall, it's not out, there's too much activity. You want to find something that gives you that solitude. Find something that gives you a clear mind, try to meditate when you get to that point. When my children's mother decided to break up the family, my outlet was the beach. I used to go to the beach and I used to just sit out there and I used to just
Right.
take it all in. And just take it all in, man. Listen to the waves coming in, walking in the sand, and it was just like, because I love water, I must be somewhere in my science, some kind of water feature.
Right.
I was told I was earth, but hey, water.
Water.
I love it. So, find your outlet. That way, if you're going to isolate yourself in a place where you can go ahead and calm your mind instead of it having running and rolling. And that's normal to have that, but just get to that calming place that you need to be, and then surround yourself around positive people.
It's a grieving process when you break up. It's the same as a death.
Yeah.
Because grief and grieving, you're separated from the familiar, and you go through the exact same stages. I apologize for not having that. I just threw that in, no extra charge.
Yeah. Well, at the Men's Lounge LA, we're not trying to charge you for nothing. We just want to give you something to know that we understand.
And we're talking off the cuff anyway,
Yeah.
But look up the grieving process when you get an opportunity. The five stages of grief, and they kind of bounce around, but we all go through it, and it is grief. It is a grieving process because we've been separated from someone, and
We had a guest on our show, and he said, you can't really, not verbatim, but just going back and forth on this, because like I said, we're off the cuff. He said, you really can't help someone unless you go through things.
right,
You remember that?
right,
So you have to go through things to be able to help someone else.
right,
And this is what this platform is built upon. We're 6 figures in age. So we've been through 6 decades plus on this planet, going through things. Even if you want to take away the first 10 years where you're really running around playing, you still got 10 years there running around playing, you're learning from that. But 5 decades on this planet,
right.
running around and understanding what life is all about now. We want to share that with you guys so that you know we got your back, we understand what you're going through.
So number 4 is this: avoiding counseling. We've already talked about counseling, so don't avoid counseling.
No. No.
Please consider it. It's worth the money. So we already talked about counseling. Number 5 is this: don't run from the pain. Don't run from the pain. Pain equals growth. Take ownership of it and grow from that lesson. There's so much that you learn from your pain, and when you do that, you feel it, you embrace it, you embody it, and you want to feel that pain. You want to feel those emotions, and you want to go through that process.
Yeah.
Why? Because pain is growth.
Yeah. Even the Commodores, you know, he said, I like to greet the sun in the morning and like to walk among the stars at night.
Right.
You know, so these are just things that you go through, you know, when it comes down to just having a regular life, man. Just understand, it's normal. It's normal to go through this stuff because it's just life experiences. But it's not healthy to not express it and then bring it out and have it. Like you say, you can't talk to everyone. But finding that safe place to come to, which is here in the Men's Lounge LA. Men's Lounge what?
Info at the Men's Lounge LA.com. Info at the Men's Lounge LA.com.
Reach out.
So,
What else you got over there?
don't chase.
Don't chase.
Don't chase.
Okay.
You break up. Now, keep in mind, this flows both ways for men and women. Don't chase. You break up. Don't chase that person down.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
they have no respect for you.
Okay.
You know, you come across as needy
Okay.
when you're chasing. Don't chase.
Yeah, that one there, man, a lot of people have to work on that, man, because when you get attached to someone, you have this ability to feel like they owe you something because you put that effort in. And like you say, that door swings both ways.
It swings both ways.
But, you know, the way I see it, man, is that when you make an investment in something and then it gets taken away from you, it puts people in that mindset that they want to get that back.
Right.
That's what chasing comes from in my mind.
That's a sense of entitlement. You know, you owe me. You know, I gave you this. I did that. I spent all this time. You know, I've even heard.
Yeah, but see, your point that you're saying about sense of entitlement, but that gives them that will to want to chase because what they did. You know, they want to chase you.
What are they chasing?
They chasing for, you know, hey, this I invested into this. Why are you going to take it away from me? So
Right.
now you're going to continue to chase to try to get that back.
And I've heard people say, "Man, I spent 10 years of my life
Yeah.
invested in this and blah blah blah,
Yeah.
and this is the way it turns out."
Yeah.
Like, do you want to take another 10 years doing the same thing, getting the same result?
Yeah, that's insanity.
That's
But see,
insanity.
hey, and one thing that we got to do, guys, you know, as a coach, I hate to lose, but I know losing can actually help me become a better coach to the kids because I can see where the mistakes were made. So losing is not the all in. I don't like to lose just being a competitor like I am, but sometimes you got to take that L. You got to take that L.
Well, let's define what the L is. Most people think the L is a loss. It can be. The L is also the lesson.
Yeah.
And you got to ask yourself, what's the lesson in this for me to learn about me?
Yeah.
You know, that's the lesson.
Yeah.
You know, and in all relationships, you know, the root word of relationships is relate. And the first person you have to relate to is yourself.
Yeah.
And when you get into another relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, partnership like Coach Chris and I,
Yeah.
when you get in that relationship, just know that your partner is holding up a mirror. And as they're holding up that mirror, it's reflecting back to you, what you see about you. Sometimes we don't like this person because they're holding up that mirror. We mad at them because they're holding up the mirror and we don't like what we see. Mm-hmm. And we're reflecting back to that person the same way. So the door swings both ways.
It does. It does. Self-reflection.
Self-reflection. So knowing this, I think one of the best questions to ask yourself in this relationship, what am I to learn about myself in, through, and from this relationship? What am I to learn about myself in this relationship?
Yeah.
That's it.
You know, nowadays, you know, with the social media thing going on here, we're part of social media as well ourselves. And now there's texting, there's messenger, there's, you know, voicemails, there's different kind of ways to communicate without facing someone face to face. You know, there was many years ago, I got a text from someone that was a little disturbing. And then you said something to me I never thought about. You said, read it. I did read it. Read it again. Okay? And then read it again after that. You know, and I was like, wasn't really thinking about what it meant. He said, okay, well, if you read it to try to understand instead of reading to react. It's
Right.
the same thing on having communication.
Right.
Listen to understand instead of listening to react. It's another thing you need to think about as well when it comes to your relationship. Listen to the person to understand instead of listening to react, because there's a lot of trigger words that come when you're in the heat of battle. And that's what makes you just react instead of listening. To listen to understand is big in relationships. If you're still in one, if you're breaking up from one, read something that might have been text to you or messenger to you, because that's what happens in social media nowadays. A lot of those things come from those kind of platforms, because most people don't want to face that person. So they just
right.
send it out, in writing or some kind of way. Because back in the day, you used to send letters.
Right.
Now everything's automated. Email. If it came on an email, read it, then read it again, and then read it again before you react to it.
Yeah, I remember that conversation. It threw you off the square a little bit. I said, just keep reading it.
Yeah.
Keep reading it.
Yeah.
Absorb it. You
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And once you get down to it, once you read it and you read it several times, you stop taking things personally. It ain't personal.
Yeah, that's coming from the other person to you. Like
Right.
you said, that mirror.
That mirror.
You know.
So just read it.
Yeah.
It ain't personal.
Yeah.
It's gonna feel like it in the beginning.
Well, to me, it is personal.
Oh, okay.
Because it's coming personally to you. So you have to understand it is personal.
Right.
So that's why you can't react until you really absorb it by reading it and reading it and then reading it. So you might have to read it more than 3 times. Whatever it takes, so you can really grasp what this person is actually saying to you, so you can put it all into perspective of what
Right.
they see of you. And that helped me during that time when you said that. It really helped me.
I'm glad to hear that.
It did.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear
It
that.
helped me.
All right, number 7. Do not recycle relationships.
Yeah, you say you only recycle trash.
I only recycle trash.
Not relationships.
Yeah, I had a young lady. She wanted me to help her to unpack her storage, right?
Yeah.
And she was going out to Vegas to get it from her ex and all that. And I'm thinking, well, your ex, they were in a relationship, and she moved to Vegas with him. It didn't work out. She was in a relationship once before. Then she followed him to Vegas. It didn't work out, so she moved back to LA.
Wow.
And then I think they were in and out of the relationship like 2 or 3 times. And I'm like, you're recycling relationships.
Yeah.
What's the benefit of that? Oh, and then when I used to drive Uber and Lyft, rideshare.
Yeah.
And I had these 2 ladies in the back seat, and they were talking. And she says, oh, I just, dating is tough and this and that. And so I just decided to get back with my ex.
Yeah.
She did not say that with any ounce of enthusiasm. It was just dry. Yeah, I settled for my ex because I couldn't find anyone else,
I was always said they were ex for a reason.
They're ex for a reason.
And I don't ever recall going back to any ex.
No, when I'm done with you, I want to be done with you.
Yeah. I want to get that completely out of my system.
So recycling relationships, I don't recommend it. It might work for some people simply because some people need that break.
Yeah.
And a break is healthy.
Yeah.
So that works for some people, but for the most part, what I've seen and heard from other people, recycling relationships, same thing.
Hey, I like I say, I never recycle a relationship.
Yeah.
And then when they say, hey, let's just be friends.
No. We ain't gonna be friends.
I'm not buying that either.
We ain't gonna be friends.
I'm not buying.
I mean,
that.
friends for what?
Yeah.
If we didn't make it as a couple,
Yeah, how we gonna make it as friends?
what?
You gonna call me up and say, let's go to dinner?
Right.
You gonna call me, hey, let's go walk?
No, some people can do that.
Yeah, they can.
I ain't one of them.
They can. I had a friend of mine tell me that he's still good friends with his ex-wife.
He said they're the best of friends.
He did.
Like the guy at church.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say his
Yeah,
name.
I mean, I'm like, whatever, dude.
That
works for you.
God bless him.
Yeah, if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't make me a bad person. It's just my preference.
God bless
I
him.
prefer not to go down that path
Neither do I.
because that still brings on the emotional connection that you had before.
And if you can be friends with your ex, God bless you.
To me, it's a cop out. It's a cop out. Because if you don't want to be with me, and now all of a sudden you say you want to be my friend, how does that work?
So-
That means we weren't friends from the beginning.
Ah,
So why you want to be a friend now?
got you.
That's where I see it.
I hear you.
That's why I said it's a cop out. You know? So we should have been friends at the beginning.
At the beginning,
So where,
maybe we
when
still
the-
be together
when
as
the
a
friends
couple.
break up and the relationship break up, the friend go with it. Just
Yeah.
my
That's your
my
thing.
thoughts.
Yeah, that's your
Hey,
thoughts.
For some people, if it works for you, works for you. That means you probably weren't friends in my mind at the very beginning.
Right.
It just became what? Physical.
Yeah.
And then it became emotional.
Right.
Whatever happened to the friendship?
Right. That's the first thing that should take place.
Exactly. That's why I say now we can be friends. What, we weren't friends before?
No, we were just bed buddies.
Exactly.
Yeah, friends with benefits.
What you got?
Last one, number 8. If you're finding it difficult to get over your ex, write them a letter. If you're finding it difficult, you find yourself struggling, when it comes to your ex, write them a letter. But don't mail it. Write them a letter. Write them a letter, but don't mail it.
I'm a cartoon man. I like cartoons.
Right.
And there's this cartoon that was called the Looney Tunes Show. And Daffy Duck's girlfriend, her name was Tina. And she was just sitting on her computer typing. And Daffy was like not getting attention. He wants to say, yeah, I want my attention. She said, hold on, I got to finish this email. And he was like, 2 seconds later, I need your attention. Hold on, I'm almost done with this email. And then when she finished it, he said, who are you emailing it to? She said, I was emailing this to my boss. I said, what do you mean you're emailing to your boss? What is it? He says, everything I feel about him. And he was reading it, and it was bad. It was bad. And he was like, all right, you going to send it? She said, no. I just wanted to get it off my chest.
Right.
But in turn, he got on and started doing an email to everybody in the neighborhood. Everybody in the neighborhood. And then when he tried to not send it, he tried to delete it, he actually sent it
Ooh.
to everybody.
Ooh.
It's a funny episode.
Oh, that's
Looney
funny.
Tunes show where I can't remember the title of it, but it kind of going hand in hand with what you're saying about writing a letter and then not, But you do that often when it comes down to certain things. You journal, from what I understand, and then you actually burn it.
Sometimes I burn it. Sometimes I shred it.
Okay.
And when I'm frustrated with something, I'm going through something right now, and I'm journaling because I'm feeling the pain, and I'm getting it out on paper. I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
And that's the thing to do. So if you don't journal, I encourage you to start. Go to Dollar Tree, Dollar Family Tree, whatever. Just get a dollar notebook and just start writing down your thoughts.
I would give something else out of that because a lot of people don't like to write, and I get that. I'm one of those. I don't really write things down because I usually, put things in notes. Use notes. Everybody got some kind of notes on their phone or notes on their computer.
Right.
Nowadays you can speak it in. That way you speak in your mind, and it put it there for you.
But for me, it's something about having that ink pen in your hand and writing it down and just letting all that frustration flow out of your...
That's what I'm saying. It works for some that way.
That's what works for me.
But you want the same outcome.
You want to,
By having the same outcome, some people are not as, disciplined when it comes to you doing that, time-wise, or just the fact that for whatever reason. So I just want to give them another avenue to try to utilize what you're offering, journaling. Try to put it in. So use your smartphone nowadays and just go to your notes and just click notes and just start speaking. Even use, I think most of these have microphones now, right? Where you can
all
just
of
speak.
them. All of them.
You just talk.
You can even videotape it to yourself.
Talk to yourself.
Whatever. Talk to yourself.
Exactly, video. And that way you can go back and listen to what you're saying that's on your mind later to yourself, just like you would do if you read it.
Right.
Now, this obviously you're not sending it to someone because it's yours. It's right there. Like you said, that letter itself, you're going to burn it or you're going to shred it. But in this case, try to find something in that manner to just make sure you express yourself. Like you said, the young man that we were counseling this last week, he wrote that down when he was reading to us, and it broke him down. But when he wrote it didn't break him down. It's just it broke him down to the point to where when he was speaking to you and I, it hit him. It's like, man, these were my thoughts, and now I can see how deep these thoughts are. Right. In addition to that, I asked him to put it into a chat.
Yeah.
And then chat came up with some things out of that too.
It was very sincere, very authentic. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
even last week, I was frustrated with someone, and I wrote them a letter. It was a dirty, filthy, nasty. It really was. I called them all kind of mother flowers. And
You said mother flower or motherfucker?
I said mother flowers.
Oh, I
but
would have said motherfucker.
it was. I'm not going to say it on air because
I'm gonna say it on air.
you could say it on there. That's
okay,
fine.
Coach Chris said motherfucker. Okay, what?
Yeah, but
What now?
I say mother flower.
Okay,
But
flower.
I wrote it down, and I had all kind of mother flowers in there. Kiss my entire.
So you said love letter, flower,
Yeah.
mother flower, mother flower. That's a love letter. You said that. Mine would have been a hate letter.
But I wrote it down. I read it. I got it out of me. I'm not carrying that gray cloud around in my head.
Yeah.
I folded it up and I shredded it, and it all went down the drain. And
Okay.
I relieve myself of that, and that's what you want to do. You want to relieve yourself of this frustrating feeling, you know.
Well, let me ask you a question. Maybe you can answer. Somebody might be thinking about it in the audience right now. When you do all of that extra energy in writing this stuff down and shredding it, obviously you just said it relieves yourself. How long does that relief last?
It's all individual.
Is it like immediate gratification at that point, and then you go back to that
My-
that isolation that we don't want them to go back to?
Well, sometimes that frustration leaves gradually.
Okay.
Sometimes for me, it leaves right away because now I'm really
Depends on circumstances.
and the person and all
Okay.
and all that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
But that one there just left me gradually, and then it relieved me to and opened me up to work on another project that was on my desk.
See, that's the thing for me, though, man. I always, with this platform we have here, I'm always looking at content. I'm always looking at ways we can improve to give you guys the best thing we can. Content that matters.
Content that matters.
Is what we're doing here.
Content that matters.
That matters.
Right.
So I'm always constantly busy, but when I'm with my lady, then she gets my full attention. I don't even really talk too much about our platform with her. There's times where I do, with
Right.
exciting things we got going on when it comes down to the jazz that we're dealing with.
Veterans.
Lack of a better word, the jazz thing that we're going through and we're helping out with for the veterans. iHeartRadio, we're trying to keep in touch with them, and we have some pretty exciting things going on with iHeartRadio. Our platform growth. So there's a lot to talk about, but this is like work. So when I'm with her, no, it's not like work. This is work. So when I'm with her, if she asks me, then I'm gonna talk about it because she talks about work. So we do bounce that off each other. But when we're together, it's her and I.
Tell the listening audience about our subscribing. Where are we right now?
That's right.
Talk about that a little bit, Coach.
Like and subscribe to the channel because we're on a growth pattern right now. We're on an upward trajectory.
Yes.
We're going forward here, and we want to continue to bring you guys this good content no matter where we are.
Content that matters.
Exactly.
Content that matters.
Absolutely, and that's part of our slogan, really. Content that matters in the Men's Lounge LA. But we want to build this platform because we actually building a community here. And then we're going to be bringing in people to help us continue to build this legacy that we're leaving behind because we're 6 figures in age. We want to be able to have the Men's Lounge LA, the Men's Lounge Chicago, the Men's Lounge New York, the Men's Lounge Atlanta, the Men's Lounge New Orleans. We want to spread our wings out there so these men can know, and they see us in all those avenues anyway, but we want this platform in those cities, and also in different states.
Right.
If it's not just one part of the city, the Men's Lounge, Cali, the Men's Lounge, whatever. Just understand that. So help us grow this channel by subscribing, hitting that bell, get the notifications. Please leave comments because the comments really help as well
It helps the next man.
to help this growth.
And another thing that Coach Chris did when he did the analytics, we have over 100,000 views.
Yeah. In less than a year, we got over 125,000 views.
And 40% of those views are not subscribed.
Yeah.
We need you. We want you.
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah. If we had that full 100,000, then obviously you guys would have seen this growth faster by looking at our platform.
Right.
But at this point, we're not where we should be from how many views we're getting. So please subscribe to this channel. It's really going to be crucial for us to continue to grow. We're not going to stop. We just want to accelerate this because we got a lot of you guys looking and you're not subscribing.
Right. Take us home.
Hey, as we end all our shows, as we say, as we empower men, everyone benefits, especially and including the woman who's looking for a man like that.
We're empowering men, we're strengthening families, and we're transforming lives. And we'll see you next time in the lounge. We'll see you next time in the lounge.
The men's lounge.
The men's lounge, LA.
LA.
God bless you.
Thanks for watching.